tax exempt. So we'll be defining these output and input taxes in the system, and we'll test how the transactions get charged with respect to the taxes. So moving to the SAP screen, first we'll be creating the A5 for 5% sales tax. So for the tax code A5 you need to fill the A5 as a tax code. Now the second thing is you need to fill the tax jurisdiction. So for that, if you don't remember, or there when you configure the system in any client, there could be number of taxing authorities. So you need to go to the search tab and you will get the list of all the tax jurisdiction if you know the state, country or city. Suppose I know the state, it is Texas. So Texas first 2-digit code is TX. Now I can go to this continue and it will show me all the tax jurisdiction codes which are there in the system with the state. So in the same way you can search for state to state, you will get the list of tax jurisdiction for that particular state, and then you can decide which you have to select as a jurisdiction. Double click on it and the jurisdiction will be selected. So I have selected the jurisdiction over here. Now you need to fill the value date or the valid from date. So we need to fill the valid date. Suppose I take the valid date from 01/11, or even you can take from 1/10 as well. So it's up to you from when you want this tax code to be effective in the system, and the users can use this tax code. So once you have filled these detail, now you have to press enter on the keyboard, or you can enter with this tab over here on the top as well. So clicking the enter, the next tab comes to you and it asks you the tax code A5, and you need to fill the description over here so that anybody can understand what the tax code is all about. So I would be copying the same description from the presentation file over there. So this is the description. Now the text type, whether this is an input or the output, so you need to go over here and need to select whether this is an input text or this will be an output text. So I am selecting this as an output text because taxes on sales are basically output taxes. So these are the two things which you are supposed to do, and once you have done this you have to go to the next, that is continue. Now as you continue, you can see there is a list comes up in front of you which has their tax types, account key, percentages, jurisdiction and names. So as we are doing for output, that is on tax on sales, and sales relates to the accounts payable module, will go down and will assign the percentage over here. So it is in front of AR, that is account receivable. There is only one particular field open where we can assign the percentage, that is against the account key MW3. So over here you can define the percentage. The system will calculate the tax for, and suppose I define the percentage as 5, so you can put it over as 5, and as you enter on the screen it will automatically picks the jurisdiction code and the name from the system internally. So you can see the 5% rate has been defined and the jurisdiction code is over here, and the name of that particular state and the city, that is the taxing authority, name has been displayed to you. So this is how you need to create your tax codes. Once this is done, you need to go to this save, and you can save this setting and your tax code will be defined. Now in the same way you will be defining the second tax code, that is A0. Moving next, A0. Now if you want to put the tax jurisdiction as same, you can keep the same jurisdiction code, or you can have your own different jurisdiction as well. It varies from the taxing authority to authority, and accordingly the jurisdiction will change for you. So I am taking the same jurisdiction as of now. Enter. Again, I will be filling the detail over here, that is the description of the text code for understanding of others. And over here you need to decide whether this text is an input text or an output text. So I have selected the output text over here, and then again OK. So again we'll move to the same percentage over here, and you can define as 0. So as you put 0 and you press the enter button on your screen or on your keyboard, it will take the values internally. So that jurisdiction and name has been selected. Then you can save it, and your text code A0 has been defined, which is a 0% text. Because for certain transactions we still need to assign the text codes. That is why we need to define the text code over here. Now moving to the next is the input text. So I will be defining V8. Now V represents that the code, that input. So system decides V as input, otherwise you can have any other code for your purpose. For my convenience I am taking V8 and V0. So moving to the screen, we will take first V8. I will be putting the same jurisdiction code and the validity as well. Enter. And now again I have to put the description, so I will be copying the description from the screen and will be pasted over here. Now this is an input text, as you can see on the screen. So I will move to this and will take the input over here, double click, and the input text will be selected. And now you can go and can mark the next, that is the continue, or you can press the enter, it will take you to the next step. So you don't need to fill these below things, these are not required for you. So enter again, so it's again take you to the screen over here. Now in this case, for input text we define V as 1, 2, 3, 4, any of them for input texts. So for input text I am defining the account key, that is V as 3. So I have already defined what account key is all about. Account key basically decides which ledger this value which will be calculated will go to. So on the basis of that, from the ledger we come to know how much taxes have been collected or have been charged and all. So over here you can define your percentage, that is 8, because this is 8% on input. So I have taken 8. Now as I will press the enter on the keyboard, it will take the jurisdiction and the taxing authority of its own. So as you can see, so this is what you need to do, and once this is done you have to save it. So mind it, you don't need to fill the tax rate at 2 places, you need to fill it only at 1 place. That's it. Now we can go and we can save the screen, and your text code V8 is ready, created. Now we'll be preparing the last text code, that is V0 for input text exempt. So we'll be going to V0. We'll keep the text jurisdiction as same and the validity as well. Now we can define this, and over here we need to take V as input text, continue, and in the same way over here VS3 will be taken up as input text, where I will be defining the tax rate as 0 and enter on the screen. So this will take you to create the text code V0, save the screen, and your text code is prepared. So if you want to see how many text codes have been prepared, even you can go to this screen and it will show you the list of all the text codes defined in the system. So earlier there were these text codes, right now we created A5, A0, V0, V8. Apart from this, rest of the text codes are already defined in the system by default. So moving back, this is how you will be creating your text codes. So in the same manner you can create your different text codes for different text jurisdictions. You need to put the validity, valid from date, and the different percentages of text will be calculated on this from over here. prepared and will be done. So now suppose in case there is already a defined text code and I need to go back and need to change certain things, so that is also you can do. Suppose I am at V8 and I want to see what I have filled. So in that case again you can select this and you can enter on the screen, so it will take you only to this screen. Over here you can, if you want, you can change the percentage even later on in the future as well. So this is how you will be defining your text codes, which is very important for any organization, because text code is something which keeps on changing from one year to the another as per the taxing authorities. Now one another important question is, as you already know, that all these configurations move from one client to the another client on the basis of the request number. As you can see, whenever you do the configuration, a pop-up screen comes to you and we save all the customization in that particular screen. But for creation of text codes, it is slightly tricky. Transporting text rates can be very tricky process. The text rates changes are not automatically recorded in the change request as we used to do normally. So these are not recorded automatically. We need to create manual transport request. So this transport request is very handy to understand how it can be done. It is best to create your transport after all text rates for all the text codes have been maintained, because text rate transports are very complicated and do not allow work as planned. So to hide out of that complications, to keep out yourself from that particular complicated process, better is first create all the text codes, define the text rates in it, and later on for all those text codes can be taken up and a manual one particular transport request can be created, and on the basis of that one request we can move that particular text codes and text rates from one client to the another client. So by having a single transport, you minimize the risk of incorrect data getting into the target system. So to create your transport, you need to follow the menu path. So we can go back again, US. So over here you can see, in this case you need to first go to the text code transport, and then from over here you need to go to the export part. Mind it, once you have created all the text codes, you need to go to the screen over here. Okay, back. So it should be on the initial screen. Then you can go to this text code over here on the top. You need to go to this transport, and once you transport it, now I want to take these 4 text codes which we defined from this particular system to another system, so we can export that. So you have to click on to the export. As you click on export, there is a warning message, export not possible due to text code being previously displayed.